Literature is an ocean of knowledge consisting of poems, ballads, sonnets, stories, short stories, novels, and what not. It is an arena where a person can travel to any part of the world, even in the cosmos. Literature is a platform where an author or poet expresses his/her thoughts, views, perceptions, and ideas in a unique way and takes the reader on an adventurous ride. So, today's session is on developing children into an amazing human being. Schools are the labs. Schools are the labs in which each day is a new experiment for students from which they gain new experience. To talk more about this, I would like to introduce Dr. S.K. Nanda. He is a very senior officer, IAS officer, and has had distinguished positions in the government of Gujarat during his career. During his stint with the government, Dr. Nanda has successfully handled key government departments like health, tourism, informations and broadcasting, finance, food and civil supplies, forest and environment. Then, Ms. Jayashri Balasaria. She is an educationist with 24 years of multidimensional experience in pedagogy and residential school operating dynamics. At present, she is serving as the principal of Zydus Schools for Excellence. Ms. Nirali Dagli, a passionate educationist and an education thought leader. She was awarded with the prestigious IPN Impact Leader 2022 award in Bangalore. She won the Principal of the Year award in 2019. She is the current principal of Kalorex Future School. Ms. Shraddha Ramani. She is a versatile writer, poet, and an educationist. She has authored 6 books on various topics. She is currently working as PGT, Political Science, Legal Studies, and heads the Social Science Department at Shati Asiatic School. Now, I'll hand over the stage to our moderator.
Thank you so much. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Very good evening, everyone. I welcome you to the very special session. We are talking about human development this year in our Ahmedabad International Literature Festival. And what better than schools? I mean, schools are the laboratories. The session is schools are the labs. We talk about laboratories, but schools are the labs where we develop children. And developing children is not only about educating them. What is that? We'll get to know from our esteemed speakers. Jayashri ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Umar Shankar ji for inviting me. This is probably my first effort to be a speaker at such a forum with the learned peers. For that, I thank. When we talk about journeys of schools and breeding excellence, and the title was very striking when I read it, that we are here to create amazing children. That word amazing itself struck a chord. Generally, when we talk about meanings of amazing, it should create a sense of wonder, surprise. And I wonder, and then we also talk about labs. So we have to first understand, what does this word amazing mean? Traditionally, it would mean, as I said, I've named 2 of the adjectives. It could mean so many other things. Is it only positive? Again, when we talk about amazing, we generally mean it to be positive. It may create the reverse reaction. Absolutely. Also, when we talk about labs, the very thought of that schools are going to be labs makes it a very technical thing, which is not close to my heart. We have known that India is a country of ancient sages and gurus. And gurus were known to be remover of darkness, guru. And the gurus spent their entire lives doing penance. And their purpose was to do welfare for humankind. और उनकी जीवन पूरी शैली दिनचर्या भी पूरे तपस्या में जाती थी. गुरुकुल में बच्चे वहाँ रहते थे. आजकल की वो मॉडर्न रेसिडेंशियल स्कूल्स में जहाँ मैंने काम किया, कुछ उसकी झलकी देखी कि ओके, इसका मतलब वहाँ से कुछ आता है कि गुरु के सानिध्य में बच्चे रहें दिन भर। पर मेरा क्योंकि मैं इस मॉडर्न एज में पैदा हुई, बड़ी हुई, ना ही मेरी एंसेस्ट्री कहीं सेजेस से है, कहीं तपस्वियों से है, कि बहुत मेरे फर्स्ट जनरेशन में मैं बोलूँगी आई एम द फर्स्ट टीचर इन माय फैमिली, इंटायर फैमिली। सो ये कोई परंपरागत तो शैली नहीं थी, लेकिन मैं बाय चांस यहाँ पे आई, अब ये मेरा चॉइस बन गया। तो इस जर्नी में क्या हम सक्षम, हम बोलते हैं कि लैब्स, अब लैब्स में भी अगर आप प्रयोगशाला में एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं, एक्सपेरिमेंट तो एजुकेशन से होता ही चला जा रहा है और होता ही रहेगा। अभी भी एनईपी नुस्खे लाएगा कि एक्सपेरिमेंट करो, ये डालो, वो डालो, ऐसा करना चाहिए, रोज़ हमें सर्कुलर्स मिलेंगे, ऐसा करना है, दिन में टीचर्स को 50 आवर्स कंटिन्यूस प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट भी करना है। करते तो रहेंगे, लेकिन उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कहाँ करेंगे, हम कब करेंगे? और प्रयोगशाला का जो मैं समझती हूँ, उसकी बहुत सारी परिभाषाएं हो सकती है। वो एक है कि एक कोहॉर्ट पे, एक ग्रुप पे आप एक ऑब्जर्वेशन करो, उसको फिर उसको ऑब्जर्व करके एनालाइज करो और उसके रिजल्ट्स भी डॉक्यूमेंट करो। एजुकेशन इंडस्ट्री में मुझे 25 साल होने को आए कि बहुत बड़ी डॉक्यूमेंट्री तो हम मिलता ही नहीं है। आज मैं IIM कलकत्ता में भी केस स्टडीज़ कर रही हूँ, तो मुझे लगता है कि एविडेंस कहाँ से लाया जाए, क्योंकि एजुकेशन सेक्टर में इंडिया में स्पेशली बहुत अभाव है डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का। जहाँ आप लैब्स की बात कर रहे हैं और लैब्स कंट्रोल्ड एनवायरनमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, स्कूल की एनवायरनमेंट की कंट्रोल की मैं बात करूं तो क्या हमारा कितना कंट्रोल है स्कूल के एनवायरनमेंट में? कि गुरुकुल में तो कंट्रोल्ड एनवायरनमेंट था, 24 घंटे वहाँ महीनों सालों बच्चे अपने पूरी बचपन वहाँ गुजार के निकल के आते थे, ब्रह्मचर्य का पालन करते थे। अब मॉडर्न स्कूल में फिर आया हैंगओवर ऑफ कॉलोनियल राज, जिन्होंने मॉडर्नाइज कर दिया, मॉडर्न स्कूल्स आ गए, IAS अफसर बन गए, जॉब्स के लिए क्रिएट कर दिया। बहुत अच्छी अंग्रेज़ी बोले, मैं भी कलकत्ता से हूँ, तो एलिटिस्ट एक स्नॉबिश बना है कि हाँ भाई हम तो इंग्लिश मीडियम से पढ़े हुए हैं, बढ़िया स्कूलों से पढ़े हुए हैं। फिर क्या हुआ? फिर आए, वहाँ पे ही कॉन्वेंट स्कूल्स थे। अब वहाँ कॉन्वेंट स्कूल से आज बात करो तो एक ज़माना था जहाँ बोलते थे बच्चों को इंग्लिश में ही बात करना है, और आज भी हम स्कूल में आज हेड्स हैं, हम चुनते हैं कि इंग्लिश टीचर्स को हम बोलते हैं आर यू कॉन्वेंट एजुकेटेड, यू कैन स्पीक इंग्लिश, गुड, बिकॉज दैट इज अश्योर्ड कि यू नो इंग्लिश वेरी वेल। हाउ वेल यू कैन टीच इज अनदर क्वेश्चन। So we come along this way now to modern schools where we say that we have to move ahead from colonialism to more of our public school system, CBSE, Mukhyatar, of course we have the international curriculum also. Works goes on, children are not only staying in schools. So 6 hours in school, 5.5 hours of school, they go back homes to their own sanskaras, their old childhood family backgrounds, etc. So how much of control is there? I am wondering. Again, I have many questions. Despite my experience, I still wonder, are we having that control? How much are we observing? And how confident we are that after our 10, 14 years, the children even, and I'm talking about privileged school, India is not made up of elitist privileged schools where good education at higher fees is given. You know, that's a myth कि private school मतलब महंगा school होगा, वहाँ सब शूशा frills होंगे. 80% of the schools से ज़्यादा private schools हैं जो low budget schools हैं. Government schools में हम देख रहे हैं कि वहाँ teachers की बहुत high salaries है, accountability नहीं है, और वो बहुत बेहतर हाईली पेड गवर्नमेंट टीचर्स की तुलना में जो लो बजट प्राइवेट स्कूल्स में टीचर्स को जो उनका 1/3 सैलरी मिल रहा है, दे आर डूइंग अ बेटर जॉब. तो ये जब हम प्रयोगशाला और अमेजिंग का रहता है तो इतने सारे नॉन कंट्रोल्ड फैक्टर्स में आई स्टिल वंडर आर वी ऑन द राइट पाथ, बिकॉज वी कैन हैव आइडियाज but I would also like to understand from my learned batch what they think before we move on to the next round of discussions.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Probably that is why NEP is now bringing the 3-language formula, and we are coming back to our state language, mother tongue. Somewhere the system is also realizing that we need to come out of that colonialism, we need to come out of that elitism, and we need to go back to our roots. And we have Dr. S.K. Nanda. Sir, your life has been an example. You've lived a life which can be glorified for ages. What do you think is a role played by school in making somebody's life?
I just asked the question to all of you. How do you define a school as a good school? You say that this school is good, that because it's a St. Peter's school or it's St. Xavier's school, Central School. What is your reaction? Tell me, how do you say? Yes? Okay, exactly, that's the point. The school is a good school where the child participates. He is not at the receiving end of the teacher. He is not only given the slogans or the mantras or the slokas to cram and take it home. He is not told that dictate the notes, don't ask me questions. There are certain schools who do it. Asking questions is taken as this insubordination. So a teacher has to be ready to answer the questions. Number 2, where there is a communication, where the teacher can communicate with the student. Through what way? By going into the prayer room, telling him today you will be the leader who will be doing the first lead's role in praying, and others will follow. Then they will make him stand, say, what have you understood? Tell, come down to my table and address this class. So what happens is that he starts speaking, starts communicating, starts preparing, starts taking seriously the lessons. Instead of only remaining a mute spectator, he can always sleep at the back bench and can sleep down and finish it off. So that is exactly, yes, you had something to say. No, parent, I am coming to that. I will coming to that. So this is the school part. When C are said, what is the lab concept? Let me go back to the Greek philosophy. If you remember, Plato started a school. He said there are 3 kinds of people: philosopher kings, soldiers having martial qualities, and peasants who are farmers who will produce for the society. What does that mean? This head, wisdom, philosopher king, administration king, kingly qualities, thinking power. This courage, those who can take pangas, fight out, not think, do this. Then below the belt, those who only think of this, they are not bothered about this, only this. They should be peasants. He says all are not meant for this. That was the model of Greek model. So he made a school in which he said philosopher kings should be a different class. If you remember, there was an English film also recently made, which says that there are 3 kinds of people. The famous film in American film, Hollywood film, I am forgetting the name. It was made on that same pattern. So that concept was considered as bad eugenics. So he says that those who are here, they will only marry among those. No marrying here. You know what we call caste system. Because the degeneration will take place. So he came out with the crabs, he came out with something very creepy system, but according to that was the system which he liked. Why did he do it? To see that the Greece as a country comes up from the anarchy. He wanted a good system of rulership to come in Greece. So he was very thoughtful about Greece. So he came out with this system. So the concept of school as a lab started from there. Means it is a lab where you watch who is what type of thing, what aptitude, what attitude, and who will be classified, declassified. But here a lab is not in that sense. Here is a lab where you only simply observe, see whether he is able to have coordination, memory, revision powers, recitation powers and leadership powers and also becoming class leader or not class leader. So this exactly it is not a lab, but these are the points behind calling it a lab. And these qualities have to develop in a child, then only he will not become home centric. Otherwise, always the child will say, "Mere ko mummy ke paas jana hai, khul acha nahi lagta." You know, a lot of children they do it. So that happens where these qualities are not developed in school. If the school does not develop these qualities, the child refuses to stay in school, he goes back home. You will see this, these are all psychological attributes. So school has to develop this, and that fellow will automatically come up. And remember, when the child is particularly 6 months to 3 years old, he observes everything of his mother. They think, child ko kya pata, wo to sota hai, bolta nahi hai. He observes everything, the memory is very sharp, the brain is developing at a geometric ratio because sugar, all that sugar he takes, in the first 1 year, it all develops, goes into the brain. The brain is developed in the first 3 years. After that, the brain doesn't develop. The brain starts maintaining. So the sugar is added is added to the brain, and the brain starts capturing the data. He remembers. It's not that the child is not observing you; the child is observing you. So that is the stage I always tell. Don't make your child only between father and mother. That is the stage when you take him also out to your neighbors. He should see some other character other than the mother and the father, so that he does not cry out on the 5th day, 5th year, "Ki, where are those 500 people there? I will go home." You got my point? The moment he sees 500 people, he gets so shocked. He says that, no, I am not going to be there. I am going to go home. Because he has never seen a market. He has never seen someone in the community. Even if you don't go too much near, he should be exposed to these things which you get exposed every day, but in a very, very designed way, so that he does not catch infection also. So that is the kind of thing which we must make him to, I can say it's a lab or not a lab. It depends on how you, but this is exactly what I think of it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Nirali ma'am, we are sitting in a literature festival, and when we talk about the conversation, the general language, and not only language and culture, the speaking culture, what role does a speaking culture plays in a child's development, especially when it comes to school? Because child has a second home. First exposure is home. The second place where child learns is a school. So what role does the school play in those building years or in the beginning years?
So I would first ask another question out of your question is, do you just want just culture the child develops for himself, or the language you want more, what would you ask more for? Communication. Just normal communication,
Yes.
Because that communication also becomes a part of the culture of the child. So I would say as a school, schools are the most important place. Because as sir has already said that by the time of age of 3, they start, their brain is quite developed, and by the age of 6, they start having their permanent memory. They start having understanding what they are looking around, the kind of exposure what he has been talking of. So if as a school, whatever exposure I am giving, the child is observing. And we all, I would say that it's from the time the child is born, the way he is observing his own parents, the child is also observing whatever happens in the school. From the time the child enters the school, they communicate with their friends, they hear their teachers communicating with others, they, whatever way, see, a child also gets affected by the way that their teacher walks around the school. Their teacher talks to them, communicates to them. So, everything from there, I would say, from the preschool, when the child enters the school, every part is communication, but whether it is verbal or non-verbal communication. As schools, I guess we are always missing out the most important part of in their development is the non-verbal communication. Because the way the behavior happens with a child in the school, in any format, again I would say verbal, non-verbal, again and again I'm enforcing, because I think we have always missed out this part. Everybody has been imposing on the child that speak in English, do this, do this. It's all about a verbal communication. But what about the non-verbal part? The way you have taken the child inside the school, the way, the warmth you have given, you have welcomed the child. A lot of us must have seen those reels on even in WhatsApp or LinkedIn, and that in certain schools in Korea and in other places, when the child enters the class, the teachers greets them either the way. There is a chart. The child says that I want to shake a hand, they shake a hand. The child says I want to smile, I want to say hi. There are various charts and child puts the hand on it and decides that how I want to be greeted today when I enter the school. See, that's a non-verbal way of communicating with a child, that you are allowing the child to take his own decision from that part. The child has taken a decision on his own that how I want to be treated today, how I want to be welcomed today. I would say this is such a small thing, but can we, if we imagine from the point of view of a child, I think this is the biggest thing that is going to impact the child in their life. Because as at home, mummy papa ke liye raja beta hai. Now what the child wants to wear for a party also mom doesn't want. No, the child wants that pink color, the boy wants that pink color shirt, but mom saying thinks that that pink shirt, the child has worn twice somewhere. नहीं नहीं वो बर्थडे पार्टी में यही पहनना है जो मैं बोलूँ. So from there we have taken up from home, that's taken up, that the child cannot decide things for on their own. But in school, if we are allowing this such small things, so that communication in any format will also get translated into good language, good culture, and the way the child grows up. So I would say in that way, amazing. I would use the word amazing when they grow up, because if a person becomes more of a self-reliant and able to take their own decisions, able to own their decisions, they are very amazing. I feel they are best human beings.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I have got one thing to add.
Yes,
There
sir.
are two verticals here. One is the school and one is the home. So home he is let's say 17 hours. School is 7 hours. The 7 hours of teaching, preaching, induction, deduction, training should not get defeated by 16 hours of home habitation. Suppose whatever he has been taught, he is seeing the reverse. Take out the garbage, put it there. The mother takes the garbage and puts there. I am just giving an example. Then I will give you a very good example. The shape of the earth, क्या है? It is round. बाप बाप बोलते हैं. स्कूल में क्या बोलते हैं कि shape of the earth is oval. Question paper आया. What is the shape of the earth? He says, shape of the earth is oval at school and round at home. ऐसा contradiction नहीं होना चाहिए. So it means the parent needs to have some kind of continuity, even if he is uneducated. If he is uneducated, he should not get into it. But he should not give him wrong sermons to see that he is at contrast with the ones he has been taught about it. I'll give you another example. The mother has gone with the child to a puppy shop. He sees 6 puppies. The child says that I want to buy this puppy. Mother says, पैर टेढ़ा है. He's not able to walk on his hind legs. Why should you take it? He said, no, we take a good one which you will be able to kill up. No, I want to take this one. Mother said, it's a waste of money. She said, no, cries and takes it. And he grows him up, makes him walk. So then he tells the mother that you always go for the one which is already in currency. Here I am trying to take him and I feel happy about it. So that kind of thing has to develop. So the mother should not have contested it. Mother should have said, should have honored the child and respected the attitude of the child, even if he was, but he was castigating him. He was saying that you are I've done a wrong thing by bringing you here, tum jeet pe ade ho, all those things. But the child finally tells the mother, it's practically a slap on the mother, saying that this dog on whom you are saying that is the favorite dog of the colony, this dog, how did it come? Who brought it up? Not you, me.
Thank you so much, sir. Ma'am, we were discussing about the old systems, Gurukul system mein, when we used to have Grahastha ashram, initially Brahmacharya ashram, then Grahastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, Sannyas ashram. Life was divided in a structure. And then we came to the school system, jahan pe we knew that the child has to study in school till 12th. Coming to a very serious question, which is a serious concern these days, people want to go for school support, or we call dummy. Every child nowadays thinks that they will go for dummy and they will perform best. How do you think that this gap, this is a very important age from grade 9 to 12. It is a very sensitive and a very important age where students should be staying in discipline, in a proper disciplined environment, with good leadership, with good kind of system. What do you think? I mean, what changes would it bring in the society if we'll go for this school support system?
So, when I started my topic about what is this lab and control, why do children need support systems? Absolutely. Comes back to the question, are schools required? And again, we have to understand schools were set up, it is a place for learning. And child never takes a decision to get admitted in any school. It is the parent's decision to put the child in the school. Absolutely. And the parents' decision on their aspirations, what they want their child to be. And then I wanted to say that there is so much of polarity in the schools. On one hand, we are talking about elitist private schools. I mentioned about budget private schools. We have government private schools. We have unrecognized private schools. We have to take and consider the population of an entire country and what percentage are really coming to what kinds of schools. And as I said, teacher and training, I was talking about guru, what is the quality of teachers? Are the teachers adept in handling the children, not in the secondary? Whatever education of the child happens, gets over at the primary level. As sir said, by 3 years of age, we have heard of Abhimanyu. He started learning in the womb. When the child is born, the mother is the first teacher. The father, they hear the sounds, they connect, they associate, and we think that they are gullible, they are innocent. They are not able to speak. But their development, as sir said, is happening as a geometric age. And 3 to 8 and 10 years is the age of character formation. अगर उस एज में, as we say, अगर हमें labs, I mean, I don't know, I can't associate myself with the word lab, but I say that a place, again, you see the changing roles of schools. 30 years ago, 50 years ago, schools were meant to teach subjects. English, Hindi, math, science, पढ़ के आओ बेटा, घर में हमारे संस्कार हैं, हमारा religion है, हमारे rituals है, you will carry forward that. What is the status of a current society? We have so much of isolation. We have smaller families, nuclear families, parents unable to decide what is good. So where, again, the changing roles of schools, I would say now we are moving the shift. पहले हम timetable बनाते थे, 8-8 lesson, maths, history, ये सब के बांट दो. घर बैठ के homework करेगा बच्चे, संस्कार और moral education एक lesson होता था, end all. अभी हम बोल रहे हैं कि ठीक है पढ़ तो लेगा ही, वो ट्यूशन में स्कूल से ज़्यादा वो उसका आतुर होते हैं कि कब वो ट्यूशन जाएं. They get admission in reputed schools, but after school they are running to tuitions कि हम पढ़ाई तो कर लेंगे, तो schools क्या करेंगे? Schools यहाँ करेंगे कि उनका emotional और social development करेंगे. जो कोविड टाइम में जो झटका लगा, सब सोचे कि अगर स्कूल की ज़रूरत ही नहीं थी तो हम आने की, सबको 100 में से 100 मिलने चाहिए थे बोर्ड एग्ज़ाम्स में. डेटा था, इंटरनेट था, गूगल था, डिस्ट्रैक्शन भी नहीं था, फ्रेंड्स भी नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं था. आज भी they are suffering from that learning gap. So in only last 10 years, even research has said that learning is not only cognitive. Learning is social and emotional, and therefore we are trying to bring in that culture not from secondary, from the primary years. And when we have a child in class 1, 2, we are talking about the mother tongue, we are talking about, अभी पहले बोलते थे English सीखोगे तो indoctrination होगा. You will learn Catholic culture. But modernism is what the world needs now to survive. We don't know the future. You and I don't know. Khalil Gibran quotes, your children are not your own. And he also mentions in one of his lines that you may strive to be like them. When I read that, I was shaken up. I think I kept that poem on my notice board for months and years. You may strive to be like them. हम पूछते हैं कि how many of the parents want to strive, I mean consciously after their children are not expect, the word expect is the children to be striving like them. हम बोलते हैं हमारे जैसा बनो. So they are arrows from today into tomorrow and their souls are not your own. They come out of you but they do not belong to you. अगर हम ये, these were in 1942, he was a Lebanese. आज हम अगर वो कहानी, if you would have read, and it is a favorite of mine, the French author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, The Little Prince, वहाँ पे Second World War hero था, a pilot था उसका, and he mentions and he dedicates that little book to the parents who were once all children, but very few remembered that they were children. आज हम बच्चों को स्कूल में पढ़ाते हैं, बच्चों के लेवल पे आके नहीं पढ़ाते हैं. हम अडल्ट बच्चे को ऊपर से ऐसे डाउन करके पढ़ा रहे. वी आर नॉट विथ देम. आज हम अगर कहानियाँ बच्चों को दे, पाइड पाइपर ऑफ हैमलिन, कि वो बांसुरी वाला आया, प्रोमिसेस क्या थे बांसुरी वाले के, अली बाबा 40 चोर, पढ़ो मजे से. गीजू बाई की कहानियाँ पढ़ो,
मजबूत होती थी.
और दोहे पढ़ो, कबीर के पढ़ो. आज हमारी लाइफ में जो अगर स्ट्रगल है, आप बोल रहे हो डमी स्कूल्स का, तो उन बच्चों का मकसद सिर्फ ये रह गया है कि अगर वो पढ़ के कोई अच्छा जॉब मिले जहाँ उन्हें बेहतर पैसे मिलें, तो लीडरशिप और ये सब तो फालतू चीज़ें हैं. लैंग्वेजेस की क्या आवश्यकता है? इसलिए हम ये लिटरेचर फेस्ट की लैंग्वेज ही नहीं है, कम्युनिकेशन ही नहीं होगा, तो बहुत ज्ञानी व्यक्ति भी अपने विचार तो नहीं बता पाएगा. लैंग्वेज माध्यम बनता है कंटेंट का. अब बच्चों को कौन समझाए? वो उनके पेरेंट्स. अब पेरेंट्स को कौन समझाए? हम बोलते हैं ना, वी कैन टीच द चिल्ड्रन, वी कांट टीच द पेरेंट्स. बट पेरेंट्स की नीड क्या है? सी, आइडियलिज्म होना बहुत अच्छी बात है, किताबों में लिखी जाती है, वी शुड बी वेरी आइडियल. मंदिर है, स्कूल कितना मंदिर है हम सब जानते हैं, जो एडमिनिस्टर कर रहे हैं 20 साल से. गुड बैड अगली, बेस्ट एंड बेस्ट स्कूल्स के अंदर होता है, और हम उसको चैनलाइज करते हैं कि वो बेहतर उसको हैंडल करते हैं. तो लिखना बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन वर्ल्ड की प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने के लिए आइडियलिज्म से हम रियलिटी पे आना चाहिए कि हम बच्चों को बचपन में अगर उनकी कहानियाँ दे दें, वो जादू दे दें, मैजिक दे दें. ये जो डमी स्कूल्स जा रहे हैं उनमें कितना फेथ है. आज कोटा के हम जानते हैं सेल्फ हार्म में कितने केसेस हुए. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बोला कि वो बच्चों के प्रेशर की वजह से नहीं है, पेरेंट्स के एक्सपेक्टेशन की वजह से फैसला है.
In fact, I just wanted to add here, yesterday when I was here in this seminar, I went home. I first read what is the case of the Raymond Wala, Singhania. Yes. You know all of you?
Yes.
Singhania. What a poor chap. At the age of 95, the son throws the father out of his property. He is in a rented building. He cannot pay the money. Raymond Company. Each one of you wear it. You know what he says? Never spoil your child by giving those which he doesn't demand or which he is not deserving. Never till the last minute don't make your property to share to your children until you are confident till the last minute of your life. I am just telling to all parents here. He thought being a son, एक ही son था. He thought by giving to his son, he will be out of business, he will have a retired life. See, he is now languishing, not able to pay. He is not allowed to enter the office. I don't know for what reasons he did it, through whose machinations he did it. What is the kind of school? He must have gone to a very good school. स्कूल तो हमारे अच्छा स्कूल होगा, ब्रांडेड स्कूल होगा. ब्रांडेड स्कूल का क्या प्रोडक्ट है यहाँ? ए प्रोडक्ट विच इज़ कॉन्ट्राबैंड. ये चलेगा नहीं, मार्केट में चलेगा नहीं. मार्केट में मैं तो सर्कुलेशन में नहीं लूँगा. इससे तो अच्छा है कि हम लोग छोटे छोटे गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में पढ़े हैं. संस्कारी टीचर था. व्हाट शी सेज इज़ वेरी करेक्ट. पढ़ो तुम्हारे अरिथमेटिक, मॉरल साइंस, मैथमेटिक्स, फिजिक्स, और घर में आकर बाकी सब कुछ करो. टीचर यदि तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स यदि इफ एट ऑल दे आर एजुकेटेड, दे शुड कीप ए स्टॉक ऑफ व्हाट यू हैव लर्नड. They will try to add to it. If the parents have no role to play, let them remain mum, no problem. But they should not do contrary of the things which they have been taught in school. Then it leads to conflict of values. And that is exactly the problem why, so that is the reason why safely we are having that Guru Shishya Parampara, where the Guru is to take care in a cottage, but those systems are now outplaced because of the population. Because of the whole culture is changed, now machines have come, digital age has come.
प्रैक्टिकल भी नहीं है सर. आज वैल्यूज़ की हम सोचते हैं. हमने पढ़ा था स्कूलों में प्रेमचंद की बूढ़ी काकी. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू वुड हैव हर्ड इट? आई थिंक बूढ़ी काकी का अगर जो था उसमें कहते हैं बुढ़ापा बचपन का पुनरागमन होता है. जब हम पढ़ते थे तो हम सोचते थे कि ठीक है, कहानी है, इंटरेस्टिंग है. अब डर लगता है. और फिर उसके बाद ज़िंदगी जब आगे लेके गई और बुढ़ापा से सामना हुआ और देखे, बीमारी देखे और वो लालसा देखी और जीभ का चटका देखा. आज तो बहुत सारे बूढ़े लोग जो डायबिटीज़ है उसकी फैमिलीज़ में होता है कि ये देखो मम्मी पापा को डायबिटीज़ है, मीठा खाए बिना नहीं रुकते. पर यहाँ पे बुढ़ापा इज़ ए ह्यूमन कंडीशन. आज हम बच्चों को उस कंडीशन में एक मार्मिक कथा प्रेमचंद जी से जैसे वो हम उनको कहानियाँ बच्चों को विभिन्न भाषाओं की, कल्चर की दे सकते हैं और एक्सपोज कर सकते हैं. बाकी बच्चे को हम बोलते हैं ना, टीचर कैनॉट टीच, चाइल्ड इज एन इंडिविजुअल. विवेकानंद सेड इट इज अ मैनिफेस्टेशन ऑफ द परफेक्शन ऑलरेडी इन मैन. सो इट इज़ विद इन द चाइल्ड. अब वो चाइल्ड क्या लेता है, उसकी सोशल, इकोनॉमिक और स्पिरिचुअल कंडीशन, फैमिली की, स्कूल की, पीयर ग्रुप में क्या लेती है, उसकी क्या मजबूरी रहती है. अभी इससे पहले जो चर्चा हुई थी हमारे लेखक की, नंदा साहब, डॉक्टर नंदा ने बोला था कि उन्होंने लिखा था तितली ने अपने रंग बेच दिए. तो आज हम नॉर्मल डॉक्टर सागर, सॉरी, उन्होंने कहा था आज हम अगर इसकी चर्चा स्कूलों में क्या ओपनली बात करेंगे, सेक्स वर्कर्स की बात करेंगे, हम उसको बोलेंगे ऑस्ट्रेसाइज्ड, मार्जिनलाइज्ड. वी टॉक अबाउट इंक्लूसिवनेस इन स्कूल, और इंक्लूसिवनेस का एक फंडा है. इंक्लूसिव मतलब डिसेबल्ड जो बच्चे हैं ना उनको इंक्लूड कर लो, इंक्लूसिव हो गया. मैं बोलूँगी उनको सबको हटा दो, लेकिन आपके से चमड़ी का रंग का अलग वाला बच्चा और सोशो इकोनॉमिक अलग वाला बच्चा और अलग कैपेबिलिटी वाला रेगुलर बच्चे को भी इंक्लूड कर लो. वो इंक्लूसिवनेस है. Forget about dark this thing. Minor changes include, celebrate diversity. We talk about these big things. We should celebrate diversity. How many of us actually celebrate diversity? हमसे अलग होते ही हम अलग ग्रुप बना लेते हैं. बच्चे बोलेंगे this is not our kind, this is our group. Teachers में देखेंगे cohorts. We have phobia of people who are unlike us. And that is why the whole world is getting divided. आज इतना war and strife लोग मार रहे हैं. कल एक कोई इनॉग्रेशन में चर्चा की थी, अस्तित्व, अहंकार की बात हो रही थी. तो कहाँ अस्तित्व, कहाँ अहंकार, कहाँ स्वाभिमान, क्या लड़ाई और किस कॉस्ट पे. आप बच्चों को, और ये भी एक मेरा एक सोच है कि स्कूल में तो आते हैं 3 साल के बाद, और 3 साल से पहले इस देश में और दुनिया में ये इवन वॉर स्ट्रिफन एरियाज़ में छोटी आँखों ने क्या क्या दृश्य देखे हैं जो आज हम भी नहीं, हमारा कलेजा काँप जाए. वो बच्चों को आप बेहतर स्कूल में दे दो. क्या आप उसके घाव भर सकोगे? आप बोलोगे मैंने लैब में डाल दिया, मेरी टीचर्स साइकोलॉजिस्ट है, दुनिया की सबसे टॉप थेरेपिस्ट है, हम आर्ट देंगे, म्यूजिक देंगे, सब कुछ देंगे, वो बच्चे के दिल से उसका ट्रॉमा, एंग्जाइटी, आज छोटे बच्चे पेरेंट्स को बीच में लड़ते देखते हैं, उनके सेंस में अबैंडनमेंट। ह्यूमन बींग्स कब थ्राइव होते हैं? व्हेन दे आर फीलिंग सेफ। मैं खुश हूँ अगर मैं सेफ हूँ। मैं कब सेफ हूँ? सेफ्टी का डेफिनेशन नहीं है कि पुलिस तैनात हो गए और हम सेफ फील हो रहे हैं। सेफ है कि हम अडल्ट लाइक पॉपुलेशन में सेफ हैं क्या? आज इसीलिए हम गुड टच और बैड टच और सेफ टच और अनसेफ टच की बात करते हैं। हाफ ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन आर अब्यूज्ड इन द हैंड्स ऑफ द अडल्ट्स हु आर देयर क्लोज्ड फैमिलीज। आज हम पॉस संभाल रहे हैं। तो देर इज सो मच ऑफ थिंग्स कि आप क्या क्या इश्यूज लेके आप बोलोगे लैब्स वेयर अमेजिंग चिल्ड्रन आर क्रिएटेड। I would pray, and that is my hope and my passion, कि every day I come to school only with the hope that if I get one amazing kid from my child, my life is sorted every year. And they thank the school, कि we are what we are because of the school. The school did not kill our childhood. The teachers did not kill our childhood. The teachers loved us. We were kind, and we will go into the world making these values alive. What they choose in dummy schools, that is their need. उनका बाकी ज़रूरत खत्म हो गई तो dummy school में चले. So who do we?
And another point is that the child should be allowed to have his own creativity to come up. Don't impose on him. I had a seminar here in Ahmedabad Management Association, where half of the suicides in Ahmedabad and Rajkot were done not because of the child, because of the parental desire to see that they were in engineering and medical, and they very badly failed. So I called these parents also. I said, you are the cause of this problem. A lot of other careers are there. Journalism hai, shipping hai, commercial art hai, animation hai, hydrology hai. So many things are available nowadays. You just stick to those very old concepts. And the child is wanting to go in animation. There is a child in Ahmedabad, Gujarati se. He is very good in animation. So usko maine abhi dalwaya hai BSc, NSc exchange mein. He is producing short 3 minutes, 2 minutes video films on NSC exchanges, you know, these Bombay Stock exchanges. He did not get the right man to support him. Probably I came as a support. Doing extremely well, he's very happy. And remember another thing, wherever you are, love your job. A lady should love his kitchen. A man should love his wife. A man should love his own job where he is doing. He will say, kya phasa hua, bekar hai. Then the child will also say, baap to bahut dukhi hai. You know, so child, father, all will get into distraughts. So whatever you do, we don't get alienated. Child should not get alienated. The child should also love you. The child should be made to love you. The child should feel that he is loving the papa. The child should be made to feel that school mein kuch sikh raha hai. Ask him, communicate with him. Then only school alone cannot take you away. I don't think school can alone take you away. Particularly our schools of today. I am not talking about my schools of yesterday. I am not saying that our schools are better. But definitely when I compare my schools with those schools, 100% is better because we used to pay only 1 rupee school fees to Government of India. एक रुपये में हम लोगों ने काफ़ी हार्वेस्ट कर लिया है. यहाँ तो 60,000, 70,000 और कुछ ज़्यादा देते हैं आजकल. देने के बाद भी हार्वेस्टिंग तो नहीं हो रहा है. सड़ा हुआ कप पाक लेके जा रहे घर में. That is unfortunate, but I feel very bad about it. Why we have gone on the wrong way. But I think everything is in your hands. Observe the child, observe the school, make him on the right thing. Don't too much boss over him. See that he is exposed like you people are exposed to society. See that his faculties of accommodation, calculation, memory intact hai ki nahi. He doesn't get scared of situations which he is supposed to face. इतना यदि आप कर लेंगे बच्चा on an average आ जाएगा ऊपर. Rest he will pick it up on his own. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your insights. I thank all of you, 3 of you. I hope all of us. Yes, I wanted to ask about that education thing. Nanda sir has a very beautiful theory about education. Nanda sir, please share what is education to you.
मेरे को उन्होंने पूछा था कि एजुकेशन क्या है. how do you define education? I said the same question was asked to me by UPSC when I had gone for IAS interview. Because I was teaching that time in Delhi University. They said, why are you wanting to go for administration? I said, it's a small alphabet A, I am going to go for a capital alphabet B. Academics to administration, I am in the A belt, I said. So he said, you are making joking of it. I said, what is education? मैंने बोला, sir, education is whatever you have crammed, read, understood, remembered, minus whatever you have forgotten, is equal to जो रहा वो है education.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much everyone for being such wonderful audience. We will not be able to take any questions because we have two very beautiful sessions lined up. Thank you ma'am, thank you Nirali ma'am, and thank you Nanda sir.
Thank you for joining us. Now I would like Ms. Jyoti Yadav to felicitate the panelists with mementos.
We are at the 8th edition of AILF, and I want to ask Ms. Ramani how her experience has been so far at the AILF.
My experience at AILF has been wonderful. This is a platform which is a huge opportunity for all the people who are in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat. Then we call many people from other states as well. And you see a plethora of literati, which generally does not happen here. So it's an overwhelming situation when we get to know a lot of people. It's like a intellectual socializing, and all thanks to the people like Larissa who are doing a lot of hard work. And now the young generation is doing far better work than we used to do in our colleges. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.